everybody. How are we? It's Sharon here. It is 12:30 a.m. and I just decided to come on because I didn't want to go to sleep and then have to wake up and um, go through all this crap, basically, because the whole day has been bullshit. But who have we got on? We have Justice for Summer, Sky Z, Twiggy. Good morning, guys. Um, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Hi, Kimmy Jean. Welcome, everybody. It's I don't know. I just don't even know where to start. There's just so much. Hi, Nina 3. Welcome. Thanks for coming in, everyone. So it's Friday morning your time. Or is it Saturday morning? Saturday morning your time? No, it's Saturday morning my time. So it's Friday morning your time. It's so confusing. Oh dear. Now, I'm just trying to decide which thing to go with first, guys. Because it's a lot. So much shit has gone down. And it'll answer a few questions we had from our live yesterday. Remember, we had confusion over the reward funds, and we thought there were two reward funds. Yeah, I normally, by this time of night, I'm usually had it as well, but I know I'm not going to go to sleep till I get this out and spit my shit, basically. So much for the No Drama channel. I got a clip last night from a live Donnie was on. Very strange. Oh, really, Sky's there? Apparently he's reaching out to Dog the Bounty Hunter on some private page that I don't know where that come from. But yeah, I wonder what he was saying. Yeah, so the reward fund drama. Yes, I was in and out of that. Justice for Summer. I had to take one of the granddaughters over to her dad's for the weekend. Hi, Mary. I'm glad you're in here. And had a couple of appointments, so I wasn't on during the day today. But in and out, I had my earbuds happening when I could, and I caught some of AB's and some of John Q's. And the marathon live last night, your time, with Scott H and John Q, and Tiffany. Tiffany was on there with John Q and Scott H. And hi, unicorns are real. Yeah, that'd be good, Sky Z. I'll put the email in the link. So remember how we were trying to work out why there were two so-called reward funds? I think if you've seen my community post, I posted last night your time, and it's on the thumbnail to this video, there are two different reward fund posters. And I have not been this fucking angry in weeks and weeks and weeks. Because it turns out this other reward fund, remember Michelle, Donald's private investigator, advocate, whatever she's supposed to friggin' be, she's the one who's handing them flyers out and putting them up everywhere. And probably the same woman who's taken down the Ridgy Ditch official flyers. Because you know how people have been taking them down. I'm sorry, unicorns are real. I try not to swear too much. But I'm really, honestly, this morning my time, last night your time, I was nearly vomiting. I was so angry. Because this is just next level legitimate fraud. And I just don't know how they get away with it. So it's the Michelle lady that advocates for Donald and Candace, and he originally referred to them as his private investigators. Remember that group? Their official, in parentheses, name is We Can Bring You Hope. Okay, so they're the ones that are producing these other flyers with not only a fake reward fund thing happening, they've got a fake tip line. Like, how is that even freaking possible? Why would you ring anyone other than law enforcement? Like, it is fraud. And I don't even know what other legal terms there is for it, but they need to be a fake tip line. Yes, I'm about to show you, Mary. So this is like a founded so-called group that supposedly find missing people and, come to you in your hour of need. But as I'll show you in a second, they put up these fake flyers everywhere and promote it in all their little virtual circles so people donate to a fund which is actually going to them and the families that they're representing. So Don and Candace will be getting, I don't know what their split is, but they will be getting the money as well. It's just freaking infuriating to me that, this is about a 5-year-old little girl and this mob of fraudulence, I swear. There was a collective of Tiffany Marie has an awesome video. I'm going to play a bit of that. But I just want to show you before we watch that. They were talking about her funds last night. Who was talking about their funds last night, Mary? Can you guys hear me all right? Because I don't have the mic plugged in. I left it up in the studio and we got thunderstorms. And I don't want to run up the back to get the mic. But I will if you guys can't hear me. So I'll share you this page. And I fully expect to be hammered by this so-called foundation because they have emailed Tiffany as well. demanding that she take her video down and threatening her and stuff. So, like, guys, I just don't understand why you would come for Tiffany. She she comes across as the most genuine, loving, caring, unselfish person I've come across as a YouTube creator. She's only here for the same reasons all of us are here. Oh, that's good. Thank you, GM. Oh, welcome, GM A Butterfly. And it just made me feel sick. Like I really felt off. And I felt like I was going to vomit. I was that angry. Okay, Sky Z, I'll check it in a second. So I'll share this screen. So I have no doubt this company are gonna, whatever they are, are not gonna be happy with me. But bring it on, bitches. Because I don't care. Where's my StreamYard gone? I'm just trying not to talk too loud either because everyone's in bed here. GMA Butterfly says that Mary, that was struck me as very odd since it was announced in the beginning. And if a time limit, why only 6 months just seems very strange. Yeah, so that's the one that's on my scrolling banner, okay? That's the only legitimate fund. Yes, she has, Sky Z. You know, you can hear it, and I've said this before, with different creators, you can tell in the way they speak and the passion in their voice, whether they're in it just for the views or whether it's actually in their heart or not. And with Tiffany, Black Nita's World and Mystery Angels and AB and John Q and True Crime Commentary and Scott H, it is about summer. It's not about all this other bullshit. But how they can do this on the back of a missing 5-year-old girl. So this is their webpage. See up here, we can bring you hope.org. Okay. So they went for Tiffany because she used their logo thing in. She's welcome to We Can Bring You Hope, fighting for all victims. We will never leave you to suffer alone. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. What a crock of freaking shit. So this is what they do, guys. Poster distribution through internet social media sites. Okay? So they have their details for you to donate money to these reward funds that goes to them and to Don and Candace. Okay? I don't know what the $10.6 million businesses is about. I just don't understand that. They provide trained volunteers will work alongside with law enforcement, providing tips, leads, or any information gathered about your loved one. Here's another interesting one. See this bit? 24-hour public tip line number to be provided for all missing persons and crime victim cases. That is absolutely pathetic. Gen F, not with this mob, not with we can bring you hope, it doesn't. There are two different reward funds, Gen F, two different flyers. This is my issue. Tim Coop's reward fund that goes to the Civis Bank, it goes to the National Centre for Exploited Children, I'm pretty sure, after 6 months. But this one goes to this foundation and to the families. The only tip line they should be giving out is exactly. That's my point. So you're telling me, guys, if you had a missing child, you're going to ring this foundation and not law enforcement? How is that even legal? They're encouraging members of the public through their flyers, which I'll show you in a minute, to ring them, not law enforcement. But they're clever because they don't say, don't ring law enforcement. They're saying, we have our own tip line. That's not okay. You've got members of the public with the tiniest bit of information. And another thing is, it goes to a message bank. This 24-hour tip line, here we go. We are unique. We are unique in that we speak to our families daily, offering support services for you and your family. We are here for you 24/7, 365 days with live specialists to take your call. Your family becomes part of our family. No, I'm sorry, but this has to be taken down. Tiffany Marie has reported it to TBI, and I heard her say at the end of AB's live that she was at that minute going to ring Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, Ainsley Daniel, Nick Perez, the Murray lady, the reporter, because this is fighting against everything that everyone else is trying to do. They're trying to monopolize everything. And look at this, is another thing. Check this out. I don't know if this is the full one. No, this isn't the full one. Okay. So here's your tips. Call or text our anonymous tip line. Okay. It's probably a good idea that join our team. Now, this is the team disclaimer. Can you believe this shit? Check it out. Our team, you'll get to see this lady's face even. Michelle, this is Donald's buddy. This is the one that was with him on the toilet seat that night and told him he had to go and sit down. She didn't say where he should sit down. So he goes and sits on the freaking toilet. Remember that, guys? You know, this is that woman. Hi, Tammy Fraser. Hi, Language of Horses. Welcome, everybody. She looks like she's come off Ben Hill Road, guys. I don't mean to attack her on an appearance level, but it's probably a really good thing today that I don't live in America. Have a look at this. It is filth. Have a look at him. I'm sorry, but this is just so bad. We'll just go to another web page because there's another disclaimer that goes for like 3 weeks. And the very first line is, it addresses the, here we go. This is what caught my eye straight away. So the very first thing in their disclaimer, okay, I agree to the disclaimer by submitting this form. You agree to allow We Can Bring Hope Incorporated to have all information pertaining to this case, and you give my permission to share flyers, work with law enforcement, conduct searches, contact media, and use all social media outlets. You are not permitted to alter the posters made by We Can Bring You Hope in any way. Does that not spell it out for you? I hope she has passed on all and every bit of information. Yeah, she has, Jen. She called TBI instantly, and she thought that would be the best way to go about it. But on AB's Live, he actually said to her, you know, it'd probably be a good idea to ring Ronnie Lawson and get local law enforcement involved, because someone's obviously running around town and in the area taking down the official flyers, okay? And they're replacing them with these ones so people donate to them. And it's just another level. But it says it here, even the families are not allowed to alter them posters. Does everyone understand where I'm going with it? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Jen F. Like, I was shaking. I was that fucking furious. I just can't believe it that they think this is okay. How is any of that going to help someone or find someone? And as we talked about on the last live, Tim Coop's Churchill Rescue Squad, they had issues with people like their own volunteers ripping them off, taking money late last year. So by doing this, they're just laying another boot in the guts of the rescue squad because they're taking the donation money away from them as well. So on so many other different levels, it's just outright fraud. And I was cranky enough. Sorry, I get really, really angry and my voice just goes croaky. But this paragraph on this page, I'll show you how long this disclaimer goes for, because I'm not joking you, it's like friggin' encyclopedia. Check this out. You're probably lucky that everyone is in bed because I have to try and be a bit quieter because I'd be absolutely yelling at the top of my voice right now if it wasn't this time at night. Mary, I could check into the metadata, but it's just sickening, guys. Powered by Weebly. I'm sure there's a way to find out when it was published. But I'll play, yeah, I had a quick look, Mary. I couldn't see any. For quite a while. Well, she founded the company in 2017, I think, she says. Where is it? Our team. I'm pretty sure I read it was 2000. Yep. She lives in Pennsylvania. She is the founder and CEO, and she started this in 2017. So she started as a volunteer with other organizations and then worked out that she hasn't got a qualification between her ears, but professes to be an advocate. Now, we all know who else is good at playing advocate, don't we? Yes, Ramona Chapel. Welcome, Ramona. I haven't seen you before. We're happy to have you in here. Jen F says, pretty sure the 50,000 is only what Don told them the reward was. I don't think they have asked for donations. Even if you take the reward fund away, Jen F, it still makes me sick that they've got a fake tip line that no one should be sending tips to. They're not law enforcement. They have nothing to do with law enforcement. It's just fucking wrong. Like, I'm not in the legal world, as you guys know. I'm not law enforcement, but I know what's right and what's wrong, and I know the right way about doing shit, and that isn't it. Imagine how many people they're doing this to. No, it's not okay. And she lost her shit. That Michelle Sheila lost her shit because Tiffany Marie did a screenshot or something, and it had that. All it was their logo. Okay, and she flew for Tiffany Marie. So imagine what she's gonna flip her ass off when she sees my video. Not that she probably ever will, but people have to know about this and realize that there are two different reward funds. And another clarification we've got is Hillbilly Heart. You know our Liz. She got Ryan Upchurch in her live today, last night, your time, and he confirmed she has receipts that he has only donated to Gabby's reward fund. He donated $50,000. This is confirmed receipts, the lot, but he hasn't donated to Summer yet. So that was good to get cleared up as well. That is fact. That is not, I heard him say. He was on her live chat and confirmed it. And I've got a link in the description for her video where he does come into the chat and confirms what the questions were about, which one he had. My voice, guys. Sorry, I had to have a drink. But, you know, what an awesome young man. I'd never heard of him before 4 days ago, and now I just think there needs to be more people like him in the world. So I'm going to stop sharing that because looking at it makes me insanely angry. So Tiffany Marie goes into this reward fund. I'm just getting it up. She has a better way of explaining it than me. Here's a smart man, Ryan Upchurch. Will do his homework before he aligns with anyone. He is a real Tennessee man. He sure is. I want to sit and watch in peace and quiet with no kids around. I want to watch his video on Summer Wells all over again because I can't get over how quick he was to jump on things in that very first interview we watched. I thought it was awesome. Like, I can't afford to give anyone money, and I don't, but makes me mad. I've seen others who say, don't give to Sivas Bank because it's supposed to be ending. I was like, dang, it's going to kids. Yeah, that's a good point, Ramona. Yeah, you're cool, and unicorns. I'm not going anywhere in a hurry. I know, it was so cool, Twiggy. I loved it. And one of my girlfriends come around yesterday afternoon, and she's always wanting me to catch her up on what's happening and is there any updates. And I played her about 5 minutes of that live Ryan did, and she was nearly falling off the chair. She thought it was gold as well, and she doesn't even watch YouTube. So she said, oh, what's his name? I want to go home and watch more of this. I want to watch his reaction when he sees the dungeon and his reaction to Don's fan club. Me too, Jen. It's going to be priceless. Yeah, it was literally 2 minutes. Hi, Stella. How are you? And just some of the things he said, like, you motherfuckers. Just like I did. Anyone who has half a brain and not an addict, enabler, can see right through Don's BS. Absolutely. It's a bloody joke. Where did we go? Here we go. Now I've got to share this one. I've gone against everything I said over the last 2 weeks with, oh, we're just not going to have drama here. We're going to keep it all happy. And I am happy, guys, but I just can't deal with this shit. Hi, Scooby-Doo. I haven't seen you for a few days. Welcome. Yeah, but you can't be happy all the time. And, there's shit going on that you can't be happy all the time. Like you wouldn't really be invested in this if that whole thing then didn't upset you. And that you can't see that it's not okay. I don't think. That's just my deal on the subject. Because we were baffled yesterday, weren't we? Like, someone was saying, well, Doug at no thanks, he was talking about the two different rewards. And that's when we started talking about it, remember? Yeah, he sounds like it. Like, for such a young fella, his head is screwed on really well. And Liz was explaining how much he does for Tennessee and how giving and generous he is and compassionate. And that really comes across, doesn't it? For a young guy, I'm really, really impressed. It doesn't seem, he still seems really grounded and he can see what. Has anyone called that phone number on the fake reward fund? Yes, it goes to, I didn't call it. And I can't remember if Tiffany did or Penny did. Somebody did. And it went to an automated message bank thing. So you've just spotted Summer down the road, guys. Okay? You're going to ring that number and leave a message to say you just seen Summer walking down the road. Like, come on. When he hears the way Don speaks about his past victims, is going to make him blow his top. I'm just waiting until he can watch it all and then give his reaction. I know. I can't wait. I thought he was going to do it the next night. And it seemed to get him so fast. He was like rattled 2 minutes in, like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Just like the rest of us. So we'll play this. I've asked Tiffany if we could watch this because she has a way of wording all of this that, to me, I think she speaks it better than me. Hi, Lady Sundown. He may have to invent some new swear words. I think so. But I don't know. I could sit and listen to him talk for 3 weeks. when he does it, it doesn't sound offensive or horrible. But if I say it, I sound like trash, like I should be sitting out in the gutter. He was bombarded with videos and clips, so he's taking the time to soak it all up before he comes back to speak on it again. Like I said, he is doing his homework right now. That's awesome, isn't it? You're a granny of 6 and you love the guy. Yeah, I'm a big fan now. I've been playing these songs in the car as well today. So good on him. I bet he's got a proud mama and daddy. So
Hello, good morning, everybody. I just shared the link for Paula Parker, who made that video. I just pinned it to the top. She made that video a very long time ago, and I've been sharing it ever since. I absolutely loved that video, and I don't know, always used it. It's her work. I cannot take credit for it ever. That's Paula's video. She made it and she did such a beautiful job with it. Hey, Pink is my RX. How are you, hon? Pixie, Steffi, Doobie, Susie. I like that. Doobie, Susie. Navy Mom, Annette, Belle, Carlos, Mama Bear, Navy Mom, Lady Sleuths, Crime and Justice, Betty, Donnie B. UK, Lisa Bennett, Tammy Lynn, Samantha Turpin, Scooby Dooby Doo, Desiree. How do you contact me? My email is in my about section. So anybody who ever needs to get a hold of me can get a hold of me there, or you can get a hold of me in my Discord. I'm usually best to reach out to me in my Discord. I know that a lot of people like to email me, and that's fine too, but it does take me much longer to get back to emails than it does. Hold on, let me drop the link to my Discord in chat if you want to join. I welcome everybody into Discord, but I have to just warn you, I've got a lot of messages to answer, and I'm very much behind. And I have to take breaks every now and again from answering messages. I did get through a bunch of them yesterday. I went through and I answered a bunch of messages, but I have really wanted to take a break from just, I don't know, the demands of having to respond to so many people. But I did take a couple days to answer back a bunch of emails and a bunch of Discord DMs. And I got through a big portion of them yesterday and the day before. So I hope that nobody thinks I'm ignoring them. I promise you I'm not. I would never ignore anybody, but it's just hard for me to balance it all. So I do try my best to get to everybody, and I promise every single one of you is important. I'm not intentionally ignoring anybody. That is my word, okay? So wanted to bring attention to something because it's kind of spreading like wildfire throughout. Yeah, Lady Sleuth, I wish I had an assistant, but I don't, because I want to be the one answering everybody. You know what I mean? So it's a catch-22. I'm not that important that I need an assistant. So anyways, let's jump right into this. I want to make sure everybody knows that this has been reported to the TBI. Everybody knows how I feel about contacting the TBI over anything, really. I refuse to call them. I refuse to send in any kind of tips or anything like that from social media or the internet, but this is a whole different story. I did call them last night. They were extremely nice. They seemed very interested, and they did seem concerned. So I have no doubt they're going to check into it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it out here to get the word out. It's very important that everybody knows the facts so that you guys can help around the community and get the word out that this is not legitimate. Whatever is going on with this organization, I have no idea. If the organization members would like to come into my chat and take a link and come up here, that would be wonderful. Maybe they could explain themselves. If not, that's fine. But at this point in time, I have a major problem with what I see, and we cannot have things like this happening. It needs to be brought to the attention of everybody, and Summer deserves better than this. Okay, enough with the fake reward fund. Yes, Don's advocates, the advocates that did the podcast. So I have a few things, so I'm going to share this. Last night, Penny had gone live on True Crime Commentary, and she was really excited, and she believed that there was another reward posted up for Summer. And she's like, "You guys, I have the best news, and it's so exciting. There's another $50,000 out there for Summer." And I'm like, whoa, 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 hold up. Because I remember seeing this, and I myself made a flyer that said $50,000 on it, and I shared it on a live. This was probably going back about a month ago. I shared that one time. I made my own. I put it up, and I never shared it again because I knew something was wrong. This now is being posted throughout Rogersville, and it's been posted up at actual businesses. Okay. And what this flyer, I'm going to show it. Hold on a minute. They are disgusting, ladies loose. They're disgusting in every way. It's so gross. So gross. Shame on them, for real. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know why they would do this. But it's interesting because what they put out on Facebook is not what they're posting throughout the community in Rogersville. So, interesting, right? So locally, this is what's being shared. And I'm going to read it to you in case you can't read it because the print is a little bit small. I'm not going to be able to see the screen, so hang in there. And I'm a little raspy today, guys. I kind of feel like I'm coming down with a cold. So don't mind I might cough a little. All right. Let me put this on full screen. This is not actually this banner. I need to have this on the screen while I run. Can't have anybody coming in here and thinking that's a real deal. Sorry for my typing, being on the keyboard. Okay. Let's see. There we go. This is not a legitimate flyer or reward, and it has been reported to TBI. Okay. So here we have missing child. Now, this is posted in the Beach Creek community. Please take them down. We can bring you hope. Please take this down. Go remove these flyers. This isn't okay, you guys. It's just not okay. Please take these down. Whoever put them up, go grab them and take them down. This is absolute insanity. Okay. So they have their phone number as a way to give tips. Now, if anybody knows the history between We Can Bring You Hope and Don and Candace Wells, they're very close and they're advocates for them and they talk to them on the regular. They like to help them with things. And it's a very shady situation. Why here do we have, if you know anything about where he or she could be, he or she, I'm sorry, is Summer not a female? If you know anything about where he or she could be, contact We Can Bring You Hope organization at our anonymous tip line, which they do not answer. They don't answer the phone. So if someone really did have a tip and they called, or if someone had Summer in hand and they called, no one's going to answer the phone. This is ludicrous. Okay. 724 466 4673, or you can leave a tip on our website at www.wecanbringyouhope.org. The TBI, they come second, right? Second to We Can Bring You Hope. Because, right, by all means, please call this organization that defends and advocates for the suspects before you call TBI. This is what they have put out in this community. Wow. www.wecanbringyouhope.org. The TBI at 1-800-TBI-FINE. Tips can be emailed to tips@tbi@tn.gov. Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is currently handling this case and can be contacted at 423-272-7121. Case number 2106160400. The NCMEC is 142-3522. The NCIC number is M as in Mary 476-287498. AMS is M as in Mary, P as in Paul 81939. If you, if seen, take a picture and geotag and send it to We Can Bring You Hope with their phone number and email address. And then up here, they act like they've put up a reward for $50,000, as if with their logo, there's a $50,000 reward put up by them. This is false. This is not true. This is a scam. This is what we would call a scam. And we need to make sure that everybody knows that this is not the Summer Wells Reward Fund. The Summer Wells Reward Fund is completely separate from this organization, who is basically, they're lying. Not basically, they're lying straight up. So this is the flyer that they have out around Hawkins County, and God only knows where else. Then on Facebook, hold on. You guys want to see the difference between these? It's very interesting if I don't say so myself. I'm going to show you what they have posted up on Facebook. Hold on. Quite a difference between what's being posted on Facebook and what's being posted around Hawkins County. And I know a lot of people have been saying, who's taking flyers down? Well, maybe they're taking these down. Maybe the cops are taking these flyers down. I just was thinking yesterday, I'm like, you know, a lot of people are getting upset because flyers are coming down. Maybe the flyers that people are seeing are these flyers, and then they're gone and they don't understand why, but this might be why. So hold up. Okay. This is what they have on their Facebook page. It's a far cry from what's being posted around town, no? So this one, missing child, Summer Moon, Utah Wells, Rogersville, Tennessee, reward. There's no reward posted. It does not say anywhere on this flyer that there's a $50,000 reward. But it does say in small print, rewards are never held by any member or representation of WCBYH. Rewards are held by outside sources. So get a good look at this. They put it on the wrong flyer, but it's here. It's on this one. It's just not on the one hanging around town. If this is a true story, this is really happening. Okay. Last seen 6/15/2021, age when missing 5, height 3 feet, weight 40 pounds, hair color blonde, eye color blue. Summer was last seen at her home on Ben Hill Road. Summer was reported missing to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at approximately 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 15th. Hawkins County investigators immediately began working the case. Shortly after that, an endangered child alert was issued. Summer was last seen wearing gray pants and a pink top. TBI to issue a statewide Amber Alert less than 12 hours later. We are asking residents who live in the area of Ben Hill Road to please check any trail cameras or surveillance cameras they may have for video or photos of Summer. We also encourage residents in that area to check out buildings, sheds, or any other possible space where she could have sought shelter. On June 26, 2021, TBI announced they received information that a Toyota pickup truck was seen in the area of Beach Creek Road and Ben Hill Road in the late afternoon to early evening on either Monday, June 14th or June 15th. The pickup is possibly a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a full ladder rack along with white buckets in the truck bed. TBI stressed that the person was not a suspect, but is a potential witness who may have heard or seen something that may help find Summer Wells. If you know anything about where Summer is, and they put TBI first, right? TBI comes first on Facebook, but not on flyers in Hawkins County. Hawkins County Sheriff's Office with their number. Tips can be emailed. TBI, case number, the NCMEC, the NCIC, and the NamUs, okay? We can bring you hope at, with their phone number, and then their email with tip portal, and then their email address again with their logo, okay? So on Facebook, everything looks pretty legit, right? But hanging up on windows in and around the community, we have a tip line for the advocates for Don and Candace Wells. They're buddies. Everybody remembers this call. Hold on a sec. Let's talk about We Can Bring You Hope. Mind you, I got an email from We Can Bring You Hope threatening me with the law if I didn't take my video down about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I never said a word about it. I'm not taking the video down. Okay. I am not removing my video. It's staying up. Okay. It's fair use. It's public. Everything that I put out was put out public. I'm allowed to share it. Anybody is allowed to share it. And I refuse to take it down. Michelle, I refuse to take it down. Okay. Let's get one last picture of this scam. Okay. Why do they want the tips to come into them? Why are they asking for tips to be sent to We Can Bring You Hope instead of the TBI or Hawkins County Sheriff's Office? Why would anybody, if your name is not John Walsh, you don't have that right. If your name is not John Walsh from America's Most Wanted, you don't get to put a tip number out ahead of the TBI or Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. It's just not acceptable. And I really hope that they're going to address this because I'm blown away. I can't believe it. And if they're listening, please come in here. Please explain what the heck is going on. Like, wow. You've got to be kidding me. So let's just think about this really quick. If somebody wanted to call and put a tip in that actually mattered, Don and Keith's buddies would be the ones taking the tip. Does that sound like a good idea to anybody? So she could really, in all honesty, decide who she wants to take tips from and who she doesn't. She could decide to completely disregard and ignore a really important tip in honor of the suspects, because we do have people who support the suspects and have supported the suspects. And now we find that the suspect supporters have a tip line. So what are we going to do about this? TBI has been contacted. I think you should probably expect a phone call. And probably to turn over all your devices, because you've been taking tips from people. And what have they been? What are these tips that you've been taking in? Have you reported them all? Like, this can't be real life. I was like thrown for a complete loop last night when I saw this. No, it's not share. It's we can bring you hope. This is what they put up in Hawkins County. Right here. If you know anything about where or who she could where he or she could be, contact We Can Bring You Hope organization at our anonymous tip line that they don't answer the phone at. 724-466-4673. Or you can leave a tip on our website at www.wecanbringyouhope.org. Why would you ever put yourself before the TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Office? Why would anybody do this? It has been 3 months. So you mean to tell me these people have been filtering and screening tips all this time? I would say this is probably one of the biggest problems we've seen yet come through the Summer Wells case. When it comes to, this is serious. Like, this is actually really serious. It's no joke. Hold on a sec. All right, so I'm going to take this down. I want to reiterate, it has been reported to the TBI. Please don't call them and blow up their line. That was done last night. It was already done last night. Anybody who knows me knows I took the TBI's number off of my page because I didn't want people to infiltrate their phone lines with social media tips and rumors and speculation. I was like so freaked out by the fact that that was even going on. I didn't even feel comfortable to put the TBI fine number on my banner. And I removed it very early on because I didn't want anybody to come to my channel and say, oh my gosh, Tiffany said this, so I'm going to call TBI. You know what I mean? So that's why people don't really see the TBI fine number anywhere on my channel, because of social media rumors that are being spread. I've never planned to ever give a tip about anything. It's not a tip about summer, but it's a tip about tips. So tips coming through to people who do not have the authority to do this. And listen, I don't know anything about this lady. I don't know her last name. I have not looked up anything about her. All I know is We Could Bring You Hope. That's it. I gave them the organization name. They can handle it from there, because I have no clue. All I know is her name is Michelle. That's it. And I know that she has done a few things. We're going to go over those right now. We're going to talk about what We Can Bring You Hope has been doing for the Wells family. Not for Summer, for the Wells family, the suspects. Okay. Let me change my banner. before we move on, hold on one sec. Gotta find this. Okay. So the legitimate reward fund is right here. Please take a screenshot of this. Please share it out if you can. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, share it on your community posts. Take a screenshot, send it to your friends. You can print this out and you can post it up anywhere you want. To donate to the Summer Wells Reward Fund organized by Captain Tim Coop of the Churchill Rescue Squad, please mail a check or a money order to Civis Bank, 210 East Main Street, Rogersville, Tennessee, 37857. If you're local to the area, you can call Civis Bank and you can pay with your debit card, I believe, over the phone, and you can handle things with them that way. If you're local to the area and you bank with them. If you don't and you're not local, you have to send a check or a money order. It's the Churchill Rescue Squad who is in charge of this reward fund, but they do not have access to the funds. The bank has the funds. All of the funds are safe with the bank. Nobody else is handling the funds. It's only the bank. I know there's been some things said about that too. The bank is in charge of it. The financial institution is the one in charge of this reward fund. Back when the first reward came in, they set this up because they didn't want to be in charge of the money, so they went through the bank. Why are people talking about her? What's going on? I don't want to even say her name on my channel. I don't want any drama in here, guys. If someone's causing problems, my mod can block them. Okay. This is about Summer. Okay, is she causing a problem, or is she trying to say something worthwhile? Is she trying to get a message across? I don't want to block her out, but if she's causing an issue, what's going on? Hold on. Now it's like interrupting my stream. I don't see her. Can somebody just take a screenshot and put it in my Discord in the troll room? And no. Here, this is a good person. Sorry. It's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Jeej, it's all right. They're saying they're talking to someone else. Oh, what does Lizzie need to say? I can't even see her. What's the problem? Is she bothered by something? Is Lizzie in support of this? Lizzie, please reevaluate if you're in support of what I just showed to everybody. All right? Really. You might not like me. I don't know why. I don't even know you. I don't have an opinion of you. Really, I don't. But if you support that, I think that probably says a lot about you, hon. Seriously. Okay. Wow. Okay. So back to Summer. I don't have time for that. I really don't. You come to the wrong place. Really don't. Okay. All right, guys, no more, please. It's over. Over and done. Okay, give me one sec. Like, I would seriously ask that no matter how you feel about somebody, and I say this all the time, no matter how you feel about somebody, if it's about Summer and you care about Summer, you can't possibly support that. You just can't possibly support that. Wow. Okay. So this was from September 15th. I put this up on my channel. I'm going to share this again because it needs to be seen now that we're dealing with We Could Bring You Hope. This is a video she wanted me to take down that I will not take down. This happened on a public live stream, and it's public here too. I put this little thing together and I said, who is coaching Don and Candace Wells? That was the title of it. So I'll drop it in the chat. Victims advocate running interference in the disappearance of Summer Wells. That was the title. Victims advocate running interference in the disappearance of Summer Wells. Guess I was right, huh? Crazy stuff.
Happiness, support, etc. I am learning through this all the hate. Happiness, support, etc. I am learning through this all the hate. Happiness, support, etc. I am learning through this all the hate.
Hold on. Hold on. I just lost you.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry, I just went to the room. Yes, sir. Hold on.
This little girl has the TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Office to take tips. And now she has John Walsh from America's Most Wanted. She does not need anybody defending these people to take tips for her. Please. So I suggest whoever put those flyers out, go take them down. Unless you want to fix them and put yourself on the bottom and represent yourself for what you really are, which is an advocate for suspects. But unless you're going to properly represent yourself, Please don't. So what kind of bogus sham is this? They're going to have to answer. They really are going to have to answer the TBI. And that's all I know. I'd have never said this lady's name again. I really don't care what people do. If they want to be Don and Candace's best friend, go right ahead. That's what tickles your fancy. Knock yourself out. But I'll be damned. Okay. If I'm going to find out that there are flyers being placed around town with their number as a tip line and a point of reference, yeah, that I call that video, I wear my sunglasses at night because, you know, they're out there getting high at home and wearing sunglasses on live streams. So we're going to go over to the other video that I have. Everybody needs to have a refresher. This is a refresher. It's not going to be a long one, but it's a good one and it's an important one. So share it out, please. If you can share it out, that would be great because I really think it's important that people know not to use that tip line for anything. Only use the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and the TBI. They're the only legitimate points of reference, okay? And John Walsh, he has a tip line. He is trustworthy if you want to call John Walsh, okay? But We Could Bring You Hope needs to take a seat. And quick. Okay. So hold on a sec. So we're going to go down here to Don Wells' phone call with We Can Bring You Hope. Please pay attention. Let's go back and listen to this. This was 3 weeks ago. Okay. They have a podcast on Blog Talk Radio, and they have these little meetings of the minds where I don't know what the hell they do, to be honest. Yeah, I can't even say what they do. All I can say is birds of a feather comes to mind. So I'm going to put this up. This is We Can Bring You Hope and Don Wells. Give me a second. It doesn't want to play. I wonder why. Ready?
Blog Talk Radio. Hey everybody, this is Michelle from We Can Bring You Hope. I just want to let you know that this is a pre-recorded show. This was recorded last week, and I am going to be speaking with Donald Wells, but I have a few things that I want to say first. There's been a lot of craziness on social media, as there always is with every case. It seems like a lot of the cases that or a lot of the things that have been going on with this case in particular have been like one thing after another. And We Can Bring You Hope has been working with Donald and Candace for, weeks now, almost since right after Summer went missing. For those of you who don't know, Summer is missing, 5-year-old little girl from Rogersville, Tennessee. She went missing June 15th. She is 3 foot tall. She weighs 40 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. If you know anything about Summer's disappearance, I need you to call 1-800-TBI-FIND, or you can call tips to TBI at Tennessee.gov, or the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. I apologize, at 423-272-7121. She is listed enigmatic and nameless. As I do with all of our cases, this is not specific to Summer's case. You can call or text to our line at 724-466-4673. You can also leave tips on our website.
No, they can't call your tip line. They can't leave tips on your website. They need to call the TBI, and they need to contact the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. We Can Bring You Hope. You are not permitted to take tips. You are not law enforcement. That would be like me sitting here saying, hey guys, here's my phone number. I care so much about Summer, so please send me your tips. I would never think to do such a thing. And you don't get to slap victims advocate or whatever they say that they are on your name and think that you are permitted to take tips for this missing child. Is this the Twilight Zone? And people called this out before, but now we're really calling it out. And if you're just joining, please go back to the beginning, because it's so important that you see the beginning.
At www.wecanbringyouhope.org. Before I even get started, I want to say something, because during one of the earlier broadcasts, there was a statement made that was misinformation that stated that We Can Bring You Hope represented themselves as private investigators, or there was a misstatement. So I'm going to read you something that we posted on our website on August 5th. In light of recent statements that were circulating over social media, We Can Bring You Hope would like to clear up some misinformation being stated about the organization. This misinformation was stated by a family that we provide support to in a recent interview on YouTube, that we were private detectives. This information, while not...
Maybe because you're taking tips. Do you think maybe people are getting the wrong idea? Maybe you might be law enforcement or some type of private investigator. You have your phone number and all of your contact information out there to take tips in for Summer. You want to clear up that you're not private investigators, but you're out there flashing your contact information, your phone number, your email for tips about Summer. If you're not a private investigator and you're not law enforcement, why are you handling any tips? I want answers. This is serious.
Not intentional, was simply a wrong choice of words and was not accurate. While we do have access to private detectives, we conduct our own independent research, and the organization itself is an advocacy service. We do not advertise as private detectives, nor do we present ourselves as private detectives. We Can Bring You Hope is an organization that advocates for the missing. We state clearly on our website what our mission is: to advocate for the missing and support the families of the missing. I also want to add in here that we also work with murdered and domestic violence families too, but that was not released in our statement. Our support services are catered to meeting with the various needs of the family, with the ultimate goal of providing guidance and empowerment to those who have a missing loved one. We do not, will not, and have not conducted any interviews with any news reporters or podcasters or YouTubers regarding any of our families that we advocate for, unless given specific permission from that family. All information that we share with the
Listen, I'm not talking. Only she is. I'm breaking up. You guys are. I'm breaking up. Can you hear me? Let me know. Tell me if I'm breaking up. Because if I'm breaking up, I don't know why it would be have all complete bars for service. I don't know why I'd be breaking up. Hybrid Pisces, that's tonight. John Q. My mic is breaking up. Let me listen. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know what to do about that. No, it's staticky. My connection should not be staticky at all. Let me just play her audio. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Just listen to her. Hold on.
the family or received from the family is kept confidential. In instances where deemed necessary, we do submit information to law enforcement. We do not share that information with the public. We Can Bring You Hope continues to assist families all across the country without prejudice, without judgment, and with the goal of walking alongside the families of the missing until which time the missing come home. So with that being said, again, the story is, this interview is going to be with Mr. Wells, Donald Wells, and we're going to be discussing summer. That is it. Because our goal as an advocacy group is to speak for summer. So, Donald, how are you this afternoon?
I'm trying to hang in there best I can,
Yeah, I know. It's hard. Let's just go back to, let's go back to before Summer was born. Let's go back to when you met Candace. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, we was in Arkansas, and when I just fell in love with her. I don't know, it's just one of the things we fall in love with somebody, and we tried everything in the world not to have kids, but ended up having 4 kids, But, I don't know, nothing unusual. I don't think. Just I don't know. We started out in a band, lived in our band for quite a while, and she worked with me for a long time. Got our own, our own place, everything up there, and had Jeff. I don't know. We just worked all over Arkansas and Missouri. Got to know a lot of people up that way. And, I can remember going through a small tornado up there. Always working on a 3-story condominium. It broke all the doors. Broke a bunch of windows while we was in the building, and the parking lot was just turned into a river, basically. That was kind of interesting. But, eventually my mom got sick and needed help up here in Tennessee, so we come out here to help her, and she ended up leaving us property. But well, we had Wyatt first in Arkansas too. And, I think, then we come here to Tennessee, and we had Waylon and Summer. So they were.
What type of things did you guys do as a family, or what kind of type of things did Candace do with the kids. I know that
Okay, what does it sound like now? Is that better? Okay, good. Let me go back to this. So she asked them what it's still roboting. I left and I tried to go into my
Guys, that just proves it right there. I can come on here and talk shit about nothing that's relevant, and you don't have one bit of drama, okay? When you think about it, the last 2 weeks, I haven't been pushing hard on theories. It's just been a more relaxed chat, and it just goes to show, as soon as you start bringing things to light, they don't like it. Yes, I blocked Prayer Garden of America, just so you guys don't have to put up with him. It's either Donald or Skeezy or this Michelle. Don't be surprised if it's not her, because she is going to be really, really pissed right now, especially when she sees that I've shared all her nitty gritty little disclaimer things about the flyers, and we haven't had one person like that in here for the last 2 weeks. But soon as you get what's the word, relevant, it becomes an issue, and they've got to come in and try and take the focus off Summer and all the scamming, filthy thieves that they are. Now I'm even more fucking cranky. No, you're good, Stella. Don't let it worry you. I was just letting it go for a minute. I was sitting here watching. I just wanted to see how far he or she would go with whatever they were trying to push. But that is very, very telling right there. Because I haven't been the last couple of weeks. I've just been coming on and chit-chatting about daily updates and shit like that. You know, because you don't want to keep raving on about the same things. But now the dirty stuff is starting to be shown about the real characters under the radar. And Don's also trying to reach out to Dog the Bounty Hunter. You know, this is just another level of disgusting. The only word that really fits it is filth. I'm sorry, but all day long, that's all I can think about is they're just human filth. Yeah, I don't know. Hi, Carol Johnson. I don't know if it's Don or Skeezy, or it's definitely one of them, though. He used to get in Chris McDonough's chat, AB's chat, and just tries to cause drama to take the conversation off what you're talking about and to throw everyone off and upset everyone. with whatever the narrative is in that particular live. So they don't like this coming out. And that just proves it right there. Doesn't it? Where did Don even find these fake? They're not advocates. Remember we went through this with Skeezy weeks ago with Cash Gernan case? Advocates, proper professional advocates, have to go through more study than your average lawyer and attorney. Like, these people aren't freaking bona fide professionals. Like, even that in itself is a criminal offense. You can't do this shit and think you're just going to create a foundation and scam people. Don was saying last night that he is going to be doing news interviews in the next week or so. My question is, why now? What took you so long, Don? He has never really tried to find Summer. Exactly, GMA Butterfly. Because him and Shares broke up again. He's got no one to talk to. Oh my God. That's the thing they find the families to scam through. They seek out degenerates to back and scam off the names of real victims. And that is exactly it. They look for who is the most vulnerable you can think of other than children and the elderly. It's people who are riddled with grief, that are searching for loved ones, and these animals prey on them. They're no better than gutter rats or crows that eat roadkill. That's what they are. What do you call them? Buzzards? That's what they are, buzzards. Yeah, I blocked him, Marie. It's all good. Yeah, that just proves everything to me right there, that he come in here because of the content. They don't want it out there because she's probably palming off half the money to him. But more importantly, this fake tip line, that's concerning. And if they're taking down the official flyers, nope. But I'm going to ring them. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here now. When I get out of bed, I'm going to ring that number over and over and over. Stella, forget weeks ago, he should have been doing that months ago, immediately after, but he chose to go on YouTube and ignore the mainstream media. No, because he's been scamming for dollars for 3.5 months. Remember how excited they were, guys, when people were donating clothes and toys and everything to the boys after Summer went missing? And there's the photos of the boys outside with brand new clothes on. And they had a little wish list. I think that was Rose Meyer that started the wish list. Oh, they'd like a tablet and they'd like this and that. And the kids thought it was freaking Christmas time. And to me, that wasn't okay either. You know, I want to see the boys happy and everything, but it just rubbed me the wrong way that, I don't know, I can't. Hi, Griff. How are you? A Silkwood shower. Yeah, we won't be preaching from the toilet, that's for sure. He's running out of people to talk to. Crime and justice. Yeah, he's probably offered to talk to mainstream media so they'll pay him. But Cher herself let slip on one of her lives that she was giving Donald the super chat money. Did you all hear that? Because I'll try and find it where she actually said it. It was what I think it was the very first breakup time. And I was helping them and I was giving them super chat money. And then Candace would turn around and yell at me. She was nasty to me. Do you remember that? And I was helping them out. And I thought, really? He's running out of people who believe he's bullshit. Absolutely, Griff. Yeah, it's real crime and justice. I'll find it when I get out of bed. I'll find that piece of that live and play it where she openly admits. You know when she was doing like the nightly lives and he'd be walking around in the friggin' dark with the possums and raccoons and friggin' God knows what else and the trees in the dark and she'd be on the phone with him? It was in one of them. One of her lives after them little lives when they had a breakup. And she went on a live with Mr. Cher and bagged the living shit out of him. You don't think so, Katrina? I hope not. Yeah, when he was going to the church to use their Wi-Fi. It was a bit of a joke, wasn't it? I think he's got a thing for Cher, though. And she even insinuates that too. Doesn't she? In a flirtatious type of, oh, he's in love with me, so he'll do what I tell him. That's why she has a little rants about, Donald, go to law enforcement now. Tell them where Summer is. Because she thinks she's got this love thing happening, that he's in love with her and he's going to do exactly what she wants. It's a freaking circus. The thing is, there are so many scumbag scammers that will do whatever to make a buck. They will prop up horrible actions while trying to distract from the actual horrible realities. That's just it right there, GMA Butterfly. 1000%. And I'll never understand it ever. I can't believe she said she loves Don like a father. Oh my God, that's just slimy. I think we've got the gist of where Tiffany was going though. Now, little Ryan Upchurch. I'll just play Ryan Upchurch. Liz's little confirmation thing on Ryan, because she got the official receipt off him in her live, but this is the live after it where she explains the info.
Mama Liz here, just doing a really quick little video because I had been getting a lot of feedback from people saying that they had been on YouTube and they had been seeing people say that Ryan Upchurch was donating to a plethora of searches. Now, we know that Ryan has recently got into the Summer Wells case and the Brian Laundrie case and is looking at missing persons, especially in the state of Tennessee. But we need to make sure we're telling the truth. We need to make sure we're factual and that we have proof and consent to make those statements. I have witnessed Ryan state that he has put up the money on the Brian Laundrie case, but I had not heard anything other than that. So I did a live earlier with his name attached, and he popped in, and he did clarify that he has placed money on the Brian Laundrie case, but none other. And I'm going to make this video so he can drop a comment, and I'll pin it for you. But we do have verification from my live where he popped in to let us know he has given money to the Brian Laundrie case, but none other. This man is terribly generous. He does so much for our state and for our communities. He is such a gem for us to cherish. Please make sure that when you make statements about him that you have the facts and the receipts that you can post to show everybody that, you know, what you're spreading is factual evidence. I know sometimes we get excited and we hear word of mouth and we want to share and we want to maybe break a story. We just need to make sure that we have the actual knowledge before we share it. So I just did a live, put his name up, he popped in, and we clarified it. He has donated to the Laundrie case, but that is the only one at this time. He is actively looking into some of the cases in Tennessee, but has not pledged any money to any except the Laundrie case, which is a national story at this time. So we thank him for his dedication and his heartwarming gesture of this financial boost to help this potentially be solved. And we shouldn't place more expectations on the boy. We shouldn't generate stuff that is potentially false. We do not want to make him feel bad when he does so much good for others. We need to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable and we only spread facts. So now it's been cleared up. I'm going to let him comment below and I will pin it. But if you want to watch my live that I just recently did before this, he also popped in there and joined in the chat. So now we know, and now we have proof. So thank you all very much. This is Mama Liz, just out of the shower, ready to go to bed. Just wanted to pop on and give you all that wisdom, even though I look like crap. Love yins. Mama Liz out.
Isn't she a sweetie? Yeah, I thought that was really cool she did that, because she was in our chat yesterday or whenever it was when we were talking about the donations, and someone was saying that he had donated 50, and that's when the 2 reward things come up we were talking about. And that's how the uncovering of We Can Bring You Hope come to light. That's Katrina, her name is Liz, but she has a channel called Hillbilly Heart, and she works in criminal psychology and stuff. But she's friends with Ryan Upchurch as well. So she got the receipts of Ryan in her live chat where he confirmed that he did donate $50,000 to Gabby Petito's foundation, but as yet he hasn't donated to Summerwell. But I just love the fact that he's blown away, Ryan that is, that he lives in Tennessee and he's never heard of Summerwells before people started blowing up his inbox. But then I've heard locals say that they've talked to other locals that have never heard about the Summerwells case that live in Rochersville. And that is bizarre to me. I just can't believe that you could live in that area for the last 3.5 months and not have heard about it. Yeah, it was just, I don't think I'll ever forget that, Jennifer. The raw emotion and reaction that come out of him while he was watching it. And he, what the fuck you mean? You know, it even sounded a little bit like skeezy. When he'd hear different things, and yeah, because I was hiding from the girl, well, not hiding, but I was in the bedroom doing that live while I was playing that. And there was a couple of times I nearly fell off the bed because I was just cracking up so much. Not that it, you know what I mean. It's not the topic, but the way he was reacting to it. Yeah, Liz is awesome. And she says it how it is too. Like we had a little bit of a moment after that CPS stuff when I played Ziggy's video that time, and Liz did a live, and it wasn't directly aimed at me. It was sort of, I knew I had played a part in it, but yeah, I just thought she could have, you know, inboxed me and said, Sharon, don't do that, take it down, whatever. And like, I respect people because I was so new. I didn't understand all the, you know, what you should and shouldn't, and that's my bad. Like, I should have educated myself a bit more. But anyway, we're grown women and we worked it out in the background, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, there was no harm done. We both still respect each other and love each other, and you can have differences and have a conversation about it and move on. And that's what happened. But as I said the other day, I would never go down that road again, not with CPS stuff. Like, it was a huge learning curve for me. But I still stand by the fact that, that little 3-letter word, but, I listened to Ziggy's video before I streamed it, and I honestly didn't think there was anything any worse that any other creator hadn't brought up in their lives and their discussion about different situations. And yeah, that's why I went with it. But it wasn't for the views, it was just a spirit. And it was about 11 o'clock at night here, I think, when I did play it. Anyway, we've moved on. But it just goes to show you can have a difference of opinion, and as an adult, have a conversation, work it out, and move on. It doesn't have to blow up into a big feud and, you know, channel bashing each other. And I wasn't happy. She wasn't happy. But we both worked on our unhappy situations and sorted it. I'm new to all this. Oh, Ziggy's. Oh, God. Sorry, Katrina. Ziggy's another YouTube channel. She's the one who let the, although she's never revealed it was definitely a CPS worker, it was that sort of content about how the kids were treated and all that sort of stuff. But I did learn heaps that day, that night. Anyway, guys, I'm going to do more digging into this. I've only just started on this. I'm not going to let this go anytime soon. So I hope they don't think that just by calling them out on their bullshit, carrying on reward fund posters and tip lines is going to be the end of it. Because I'm not going to stop with this shit now. I'm going to dig and dig and dig. Because they're not qualified professionals as advocates or investigators, and she even admitted it. and it shouldn't be allowed. They should not be allowed to have contact information on their websites to promote ringing their tip lines for any missing person. And because it's Hillbilly Heart, it's in the description of this video as well. I put it in there earlier. She's very, very, very smart and studied psychology, forensic psychology, and she's worked with inmates, the parole system. Yeah. Oh, yeah, thanks, Stella. That'd be awesome. I was going to play the second body cam footage from, guys, I bawled my eyes out when I watched this second one. I don't know if you want to watch it now. We can do it when I wake up, maybe. Put a one in the chat if you've already watched the second lot of body cam footage from Gabby's when they pulled him over in the van, the police officers, the whole 5 of them. I watched it today, and when they were talking to her in the back of the car and said she would have to go to court in 3 weeks or whenever it was, and she broke down and she was sobbing because she didn't want to be separated from Brian. Yeah, Jen F. Honestly, I had the biggest lump in my throat, tears pouring down my face. And when the police officer, like, he notices marks on her arm and on the side of her face. And it comes down to the fact that she said she slapped Brian first. I don't know how these police officers, like, one of them even says in that footage, I don't have a crystal ball. Yeah, I see you, Miss Justice. What are you up to? How are you? Yeah, they did. They kept talking over the top of her and relating her situation to their situations and his ex-wife. And I was just like, no, don't do that. I just couldn't believe that he's noticed marks on her face and her arm, and he couldn't see that she wasn't going to throw Brian under the bus. She knows exactly what Brian did to her, but she wasn't going to say anything about what Brian did to her. She was just like, no, it was me. I hit him first, you know? And DV survivors do that constantly because they know what's going to come if they speak up. I don't know, Miss Justice, but it was just really, really, really hard to watch. And that fuckwit, Brian, joking and carrying on with the officers. Oh my God. No, he didn't, Jen F. Because the other witness is the one that said that Brian was the aggressor and Brian was hitting her, not that guy he had on the phone. I might play that when I get up, because Yeah, it's nearly 2:30 in the morning here. So I'll go and have a few hours sleep and get up. I've only got one granddaughter here this weekend, and Monday's a public holiday. So I'll be able to do lots of digging and background work. And I'll just have a quick look. I don't think there's anything happening on the Brian Laundrie. Usually about 11 o'clock at night, our time. They'll start with, oh, here we go.
So I guess the question here, I want you to address Linda's question here from Twitter.
Hang on. Let's do this. This is live with JR. Remember JR? From WFLA. He cracks me up, this guy. It is live.
But also, should law enforcement have been on Brian right when he came home, or are there protocols in place where they have to wait for certain things to get accomplished and wait for certain things to rise to that level before that they can actively, monitor his whereabouts?
Well, I think the most important protocol is this: active criminal investigations, which this certainly is not public information. Law enforcement routinely makes press releases, but they do that because there's a need to get certain amounts of information out that may help or assist an investigation. They don't do that because it's our obligation to get information out. So what they knew when he was a person of interest, any of that information, that is a guess on people's parts, what they knew and when they knew it. Do I think it's a fair question to ask? I do. And some of these videos, there's a lot of questions being asked as far as why was he not taken into custody and so forth. We don't have we have snippets. We don't have all the information, but we have enough to ask questions.
Let's take the next question here. Thanks a lot, Ken. How about this one that just came in here from, and I think I'm coming your way here, Anthony, on this one. Ashley Nicole Campbell, and of course, Brian, if you'd like to chime in here as well, both of you guys, of course, being experts on the law. Ashley Nicole Campbell, #AJB. It's their talk. She made this comment when I was talking about the federal arrest warrant for use of unauthorized access devices. Of course, that's connected to the credit card, the alleged credit card fraud. And Ashley saying, #AJB, that's their gateway charge to bring him in. Once they have him, I bet that more charges will follow, I'm sure. So, Anthony, I'll start here with you. What is the likelihood, in your professional opinion, in your opinion here, what is the likelihood that they do have other charges just ready to go for Brian Laundrie once they do locate him, that they're just not ready to fully tell the public here at this time?
Well, when a federal investigation is occurring in the background. The federal government doesn't broadcast what they're doing. We know in this particular case that an autopsy was conducted. We know that they've gone back to the house after that autopsy. We know Brian's been named a person of interest. And quite frankly, in the federal system, he may be much more than that. What we do know is the federal government has decided to charge Brian with a crime that they feel they can prove at this current time. And that's use of her credit card without her permission, and that's an authorized use of their credit card. What this charge allows the federal government to do is to take him into custody and hold him in custody, knowing now that he's an extreme flight risk. There's a pending charge. We know he's on the run. We know no one can locate him. When and if he is picked up, this charge will allow law enforcement to hold him, most likely without bond, be transported to Wyoming to answer those charges. While this federal case is pending now, law enforcement, federal authorities, the FBI, local law enforcement in Wyoming, Utah, they can still conduct their investigation in the background. Wait for the results of that autopsy. See if there's any direct evidence linking Brian to the body. See if there's any evidence around the body. And then ultimately, if either state or federal officials determine that enough evidence exists to charge him, then he'll be charged. But again, he doesn't have to be named a suspect, a person of interest. The government can arrest him. There may be a grand jury seated right now for a potential indictment. We don't know these things. And at the end of the day, we do know at least one charge has been filed against him, and that's going to allow the government to hold him while they conduct additional investigations.
Anthony, I'm glad you brought up the potential for there being the grand jury getting involved here. We're going to come back to that in a little while here. Brian, I'm going to ask you have, of course, you can respond to the same question for Ashley, but I'm also going to throw up this one here because we want to get as many comments here going in the Facebook Live and YouTube Live and Twitter comment section here. Stephanie, #KJB, why have an attorney if you're missing or possibly deceased? And I just want to jump off of this comment here from Stephanie here and ask you about Brian Laundrie having an attorney so early on here. Brian, of course, returning home on September 1st and having an attorney almost immediately. What do you make of that, of course, with all of the many cases that you've represented? What do you make of him having an attorney so early on, before he was deemed missing, before he was named a person of interest, just him returning back to Florida in Gabby's van?
You know, many people don't want to hear this, but it was a smart move. I mean, you know, I can just jump on the last question real quick. It seems to me that there's not enough probable cause to arrest him at this point for the death. We're still waiting for the results. We're still waiting for the cause of death. We know, I think it was homicide at least. So on the one hand, I think they had enough probable cause to issue this federal charge, to hold him, as Anthony pointed out, and maybe interview him and maybe get a confession from him. But the absence of an arrest warrant for the murder or the homicide of Gabby speaks volumes again. So, but in terms of him getting a lawyer, it's a smart move. I mean, that's the basic fundamental right that we have: absolute right to remain silent, absolute right to counsel. So, you know, again, lay people may look at it as an admission of guilt. I think everyone in the world, civil libertarians all over the world, would agree he had that right. Let him exercise that right. Doesn't look good, but it's a constitutional right. And so, you know, at this point, what do I make of it? That it was a smart move. But does it mean anything else? I don't want to be in that position to assume that it means that he's guilty of something when he may not be guilty.
I want to get each of your 2 cents on this very quickly. We were noting on stream that Stephen Bertolino, the attorney for Brian Laundrie, that being the attorney in New York, who's been, of course, we've been talking about him at the center of this as far as representing his client. He has been communicating with members of the media via text message a lot. And it hasn't been the copy and paste sort of responses. Bryant, Anthony, I know that you guys deal with the media. I know that you deal with us and on our side of this equation here. When you respond, are you responding to individual reporters with individual questions? Or if somebody has an inquiry, are you copying and pasting text messages here? Because Bridget Riley here, #AJB, is it normal for an attorney to communicate through the media solely by text messages? Would there be a reason why we haven't seen Stephen Bertolino over the last few weeks? I'll ask you guys to chime in this really quickly because we're about to play the Utah video here.
I was going to say real quick, I've done that because maybe just there's not enough time. But secondly, it avoids the press asking me that one question too many that could potentially look badly upon my client. So I've done it. Mr. Bertolini may be doing it for the same reason, because there's just no time, or he could be limiting the response to avoid any question that he can't ethically answer.
Yeah, as Brian said, you're controlling the medium by participating in a text message this way. There's cases where you give a blanket text to every media station across the country, but there are cases where you want to respond specifically to a specific question. But by doing it in text, you don't have the follow-up question. You can't say that word, no comment. As a lawyer, I hate saying no comment. By giving a quick, simple comment via text, you're allowed to control the dialogue, control your comment, and then move on to something else. The attorney also has to be careful, because every time he answers, it seems like there's an additional question, there's an additional follow-up, and sometimes an attorney wants to communicate a little too much, may not be doing what's in his best interest of his client. So, his attorney needs to be careful in his responses, especially considering that his clients have talked to the FBI. We don't know what they told him. He doesn't want to be in a position where he's essentially contradicting what his clients may have said, or contradicting the evidence that the FBI may have, because he doesn't know.
I'm going to hold these guys to their pledge, especially Anthony there, to the pledge of no comment. The next time that I need a response on a story, I'm gonna play back this clip here for you. I have it now, folks. Let's get now to the Utah video. The police encounter there in Utah has of course been dissected, but now we have a new body camera angle. It's of course considerably long. We're going to play back some moments here over the course of that here, and then Ken, I would like to hear kind of your perspective here and as far as the police response here and how they handled this situation here in Utah. And then Anthony and Bryant, well, what I'm going to ask the two of you to do, because they make reference here. Now, we're not experts in Utah law. We're, of course, all here in Florida, but they do make reference to what they are and are not allowed to do as far as handling the situation on the side of the road there in the field. So I'm going to ask you for all your perspectives, but this is a 3-minute snippet clip of some of the moments of this new Utah video. We'll come back in 3 minutes and continue the conversation. In the meantime, I'll be looking for more of your hashtag HeyJB or other hashtag hashtag HeyKen, hashtag HeyAnthony, hashtag HeyBryant. I'll be looking for your hashtag comments here in the Facebook Live, Twitter, and YouTube Live comment section here, and we'll bring them in here on WFLA Now. Let's listen in now. This is, again, 3 minutes from the Utah video, the new one of the new body camera angle.
How's it going?
How are you doing?
Good. Hey, we got a call about a male hitting a female and the two of them getting in this vehicle and taking off.
So I don't want to try and defend myself by saying anything here, but I pushed her away. She gets really worked up, and when she does, she swings, and she had her cell phone in her hand. So I was just trying to push her away. But Gabrielle, you're talking about my fiance, right? What's that?
Is there something on your cheek here? Looks like did you get hit in the face? Kind of looks like something like hit you in the face. And then over on your arm, shoulder, right here. That's new, huh? Have a new mark?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Can I see the other side of your face? So, what happened here and here?
I'm not sure. It was I was just trying to get in the back of the car and backpack on the back. And got me.
So, the backpack got you? So, there's two people that came to us and told us that they saw him hit you. There's two people saying that they saw him punch you. We're just independent witnesses by Moonflower.
Well, to be honest, I definitely hit him first.
Where'd you hit him?
I slapped him.
You slapped him first? And then just on his face?
He gets kind of just shut up.
How many times did you slap him?
Just a couple.
And then what? And his reaction was to do what?
Grab my arm so I wouldn't slap him.
He just grabbed you?
Yeah.
Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, and then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
Where did he hit you? Don't worry, just be
He
honest.
grabbed my face, I guess. He didn't hit me in the face, he didn't punch me in the face or anything.
Did he slap your face or what?
Well, he grabbed me with his nail, and I guess that's why it looks. I definitely have a cut right here, because I could feel it.
Yeah.
When I touch it, it burns.
One of the things that the state legislature doesn't give us discretion on is charges when it comes to a domestic assault. And it sounds like you guys are living together, so you meet the statute for domestic partners, and you do have injury, and both an independent witness, probably the next one we're going to talk to as well, which we haven't talked to yet, but the one we did talk to, and your own companion have made it clear that she was the primary aggressor and that she was striking you and that you received injuries. You haven't admitted to striking her. She has not admitted to you striking her. The witness did not see you strike her. So at this point, you're the victim of a domestic assault. That even if you didn't want to pursue this, we don't have a choice. The best thing we could do to not, the law says we have to charge her. It doesn't say we have to put her in jail. Okay, but it also says we have to separate, do a no contact order, and then we have to put her in jail if we cannot separate. And there's a little problem here. Is you guys are out of Florida living in the van together. How are we supposed to separate you guys? Now, I don't want to take this small 20, what is she?
Yes, a 22-year-old
female in jail that you could definitely defend yourself against. But at the same time, we can't say because you're a male and she's a female, we can't treat this different than if you were the male hitting her.
Back here with you live on WFLA Now here, and let's bring in just one of the immediate responses here to that. And there's been a variety of different responses to this video here online. Terry #KJB saying Moab City Police Department video clearly shows that Gabby was upset. Brian, on the other hand, is seen smiling and joking. We see that the very clearly here we have two different demeanors here between what Gabby's body language is like, clearly distraught, and what Brian's body language is like. People have been combing through this here. Ken, first and foremost, I just want to ask you, we've seen this video now. This is just another angle of the same encounter here. I just want to ask you for your response here to what you think as far as how the officers in Utah handled this. And again, we preface this by saying that domestic violence cases, we know from speaking to other experts, can be extraordinarily complicated. We're not experts here in Utah law, but what do you make here of this video and what you just watched?
Well, I briefly read the Utah statute, and I don't claim to be an expert in it, but difference between the Utah statute and Florida statute, Florida has a preferred arrest policy, and Utah statute uses the terms that you shall arrest under certain circumstances. You're not supposed to arrest both parties. You're supposed to identify a primary aggressor, which they were discussing in this investigation. And I would like to have heard more about what the witnesses said. Was the witness testimony reliable? The demeanor of both of them certainly speaks a lot. I don't like the demeanor that I see from him, but a person who's nervous can react in a lot of different ways, and that's something that you have to allow the officers to be able to assess. Again, I think there's reason to be suspect about the action that was taken. A 3-minute video clip and the total time that they were on scene, you could draw two completely different assessments of what should have been done.
And we have the entire video for you on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Let's bring in Bryant here. Bryant, at the end of this video, it's not in the snippet, but I watched the video this morning. They were talking about whether or not they were talking about protocol here, and they asked Gabby about whether or not there was intent to inflict bodily harm on again, and a lot of people pointing this out on social media, the officer identifying Brian as the victim here, at least at the side of the road, saying that you're the victim here. Gabby being asked whether or not, she was intentionally there to inflict bodily harm, of course, was part of the protocol here. What do you make here of this ending in their separation here, staying in separate hotel rooms that night, and there not being charges filed here against either of the two individuals involved?
Number one, I think the officers were complying with Wyoming law. I mean, it is what it is. And even though we're not experts on the Wyoming law, I think we know enough about probable cause. And I think here the probable cause established, and again, probable cause is that she probably commit the crime. I think there was enough probable cause to arrest her just based on the limited information that law enforcement had. So the question is, why didn't they arrest her? Now, in a way, I'm kind of glad they didn't, because the poor girl was already victimized enough. But who knows, if she had been arrested, things may have been different. But I think that to criticize the officers because they didn't read the body language is unfair. And I'm not in any way supporting or advocating what happened. But based on what I've seen, the probable cause was that she was the aggressor. They said as much on the videotape. And she, I think, admits to trying to reach out for the phone, and he perhaps allegedly self-defended himself. So at the end of the day, to arrest either one of them based on body language, I think is unfair. But I think that they make the right call in not arresting either one of them and separating them under the circumstances. I think they had to, because again, otherwise they would have arrested her. Who knows, she may have been alive to this day, but we don't know that. But ultimately, I would imagine her family would be suing law enforcement saying, what the heck are you doing arresting my daughter? So it's a tough call. Did they make the right one? I don't know in hindsight, but in retrospect, I think they had to follow the law. The law said separate them and not arrest either one of them. And so unfortunately, it turned out the way it did, but I don't know if law enforcement would have prevented what happened.
Anthony, do you agree with Brian's assessment there? And then also separately, for everyone out there on social media that is calling on police here in this encounter to be held responsible, held accountable for how they handle, whether or not, again, this is all going to now, there are people online that are saying, of course, that that police handled this appropriately and that they went about this the right way. And then there are those that are, of course, extraordinarily critical, as you would imagine, it's social media, extraordinarily critical of allowing this to just end with just a separation here at the end of the night. So, Anthony, do you agree with what Bryant just said? And also, too, what kind of ramifications now? Are there potential lawsuits or what for people that are demanding that this police department be held responsible here or accountable? What can be done?
Yeah, look, it's easy to sit back and armchair quarterback, and say, hey, this should have happened, that should have happened. When you look at what happened in this particular case through the eyes of law enforcement, it was hard to determine who the aggressor was. And from the evidence that they had established, the probable cause at that time, it appeared, based on Gabby's own admission and based on what Brian said, that Gabby was the initial aggressor. And had we not had this tragic circumstance that we're dealing with now, it wouldn't be an issue. And if you look further on the video, what law enforcement does at the end of this, they say, look, instead of you going to jail, we have a car here from our safe team or a special critical team that was set up from Moab. And through this Moab policy, if this team is available, rather than one party going to jail and having to bond out, though this county allowed one person to be separated, placed in a hotel, and the other person to go on their way. And in this particular case, that's what happened. There was a safety net, a secondary safety net that allowed for separation as opposed to arrest. And in a case like this, when you have the alleged victim, and I say alleged, Brian in this particular case, saying he didn't want her arrested, didn't want her prosecuted, she herself saying it was a mutual combatant situation, she obviously doesn't want to go to jail. Law enforcement can't see into the future about what may happen in the future, and they decided to take this route and separate. And if you look at the very end of the video, they do cite Gabby with a citation that would be equivalent to a criminal infraction. And they tell her at the end, because there's no court, you can appear in court via Zoom. So there was action taken, and the action that law enforcement took at that particular time was within the bounds of their policy. Now, moving forward, do I think that policy is going to change? Without a doubt. And I believe this case is going to have a chilling effect, not just on what happens in Moab, but what happens across the country. I know I deal with cases here in Florida where, in Hillsborough County, where you have a domestic situation and somebody has to go to jail. No matter what the alleged victim may say or no matter what the defendant may say, usually somebody goes to jail. And this case may create that policy where you don't have the separation, where someone has to go to jail, a no contact order may be issued, and ultimately they'll have to go through the court system.
Again, Brian Camarino, Anthony Rickman, Ken Stevens here with you live on WFLA Now. We're going to resume and we're going to go rapid fire here through all the comments that we have here in the queue here. I would just like to take a moment here to acknowledge, of course, that this is spurring, has already begun to spur a conversation online about how we go about and how we prevent domestic disputes, domestic abuse, domestic violence.
That was the bit I was talking about just a little while ago, where the officer asks her if she had a mark on her face and on her arm. So that was really good timing that we started that right where I was talking about, like it was a planned thing, but it really wasn't. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go and get a few hours sleep, and I will be back on later in the day. Now, I've vented about all that other stuff, but I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to keep digging and digging, because Prayer Garden coming in here tonight has just clinched the deal for me that this is, hi Kimmy Jean, that this bothers them. And I say them because it's that group working with Donald and Candace that is the problem. So we're going to bring out some more awareness. Let's just say it like that, shall we? And a big shout out to 423 Chase. I seen him pop in here just a while ago. So this group is actually working against everything 423 Chase, who is a local in Rogersville, Hawkins County, and he's the one that's boots on the ground every spare minute of his life, physically out there searching in the woods, putting up flyers. The guy is a saint, and this mob of filthy animals is working against everything he's doing and his team, guys. So just, if you can, in your other little chat groups, try and see if the other chats are onto it and are aware of it, and remind them that this other group do not officially need to be putting up flyers with false tip lines and false reward money info. Yeah, JMA, he surely is. And that's the other heartbreaking side of it. It's hurting so many other people that are 1000% doing everything they can for summer. You know, it's a slap in the face to them. And that just makes everything so much worse. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a little rest, and I'll be back later. Thanks everyone who's come in. I know it's really early for some of you, and you're all just getting your day started, but I knew I just wouldn't be able to doze off until I vented it all out. So thanks mods so much, and if you're new and haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd really love it, and a thumbs up would be awesome as well. And I'll talk to you all a bit later today. Bye.